Hello, lovely people. You can probably tell straight away two things. First, I still haven't got my tripod sorted out and I'm holding my phone in my hand. Second, my eye is really messed up. It's actually not. It looked worse than this yesterday. Basically, you may have noticed that there's been an issue with my right eye for a while. People have commented on it on various videos and photos that I've done. I had an operation on it yesterday and it's better now. You see what they did to me. You see what they did to me. In all seriousness, it looks awful. It actually isn't. It'll heal now and be fine. And I'll soon have my boyish good looks back. Or something. Anyway, thank you for your concern. All of those people have expressed it. And please don't freak out over this. It's not nearly as bad as it looks. Because just looking at it on the screen now, looks awful. Anyway, it is Wednesday morning. Well, it's not actually. As I record this, it's Tuesday evening. But, you know, time. Woo! It's Wednesday. It's New Comic Book Day. It's time to see what's on the rack. And have we got a rack for you? Well, I hope so. Because if we haven't, I've got nothing to sell. It's a good one. It's a really, really good one. And I'm quite pleased to be able to bring it to you. We start with Beyond the Breach, issue 5. This has been a great interdimensional horror kind of story. It's not gone the conventional route. It's been a huge fun read and hopefully continues to be so. We have an issue 1. Black Panther, issue 1. There is a new series of Black Panther. And it looks really, really nice. I haven't had a chance to read anything from this week's delivery yet, but I'm digging the art style. It's nice and straightforward. It's not overly flash, but it's quite narratively good. You can follow the story easily through the pictures, which is something I look for in a comic. Then we've got Campisi issue 3. Oh, how good is this? Gangsters Fight Dragons. It's just... Imagine The Sopranos meets Hawk the Slayer. That's kind of where we are. Speaking of things that are mad but good, DC versus vampires. If you ever wanted to see the DC universe fight loads of vampires, this is your chance. One of them's the Green Lantern. That's really cool. And then, speaking of things that are really cool, Fear State continues in Detective Comics as Batman continues to battle with just people who won't leave Gotham alone. Another issue 1. I've really been looking forward to this for a while. There's not been a new Jim Mahfood book out for, easily 3 years, probably 4. This is Girl Scouts Stone Ghost. It should be Girl Scouts, but he had to change the name because the Girl Scouts of America sued him. If you want a sort of elevator pitch as to what Girl Scouts is, it's really hard to pin down. It's got the same sort of energy as Tank Girl, if that helps. I'd elevator pitch it perhaps as if Tank Girl was done by Americans, but that sounds derogatory, and I don't mean it to be, because it's the same energy as Tank Girl. It's not a rip-off. It's not trying to do Tank Girl. I'm not quite sure which came first, actually. I suspect Tank Girl came first, but I don't know that. It's a crackingly rebellious, anarchic kind of storytelling, which I really quite enjoy. Then there's House of Slaughter. Issue 1 was fantastic. I strongly suggest you jump on board with this, although good luck getting hold of a copy of issue 1. I don't think we've got any left. From the same world as Something is Killing the Children, by the same people as Something is Killing the Children, Something is Killing the Children is amazing. Why would House of Slaughter not be amazing? Why would anybody be surprised? Well, don't be surprised, because it is amazing. Speaking of amazing, but no longer immortal, or indeed incredible, he's just Hulk. And the idea is, what if Hulk exists to protect us from Banner? Completely new creative team, hence it's an issue 1. Donny Cates, Ryan Ottley, Frank Martin. Not everybody likes Ryan Ottley's artwork. I agree, it doesn't work everywhere. But when Ottley is good, he's very good indeed. To wit, look at that. Has there ever been a picture that was more Hulk? Seriously. There's another fantastic double page spread in here as well, if I can find it. It's just gloriously over the top, brawling Hulk, which is a departure from the more cerebral horror kind of thing that we've had from Al Ewing, but it works. It actually works. I don't think I'd be a fan of the Hulk were it not for Al Ewing's run. I'd never really enjoyed the Hulk before, but I'm on board for this. Seriously on board for this, as I'm on board for Human Remains. Wonderful book. Hits issue 3. Terrifying premise. You can't experience emotion anymore because human emotions attract deadly aliens, which will kill you. And that's particularly deadly because you cannot even be scared of them, because that's an emotion. So the very act of being terrified of being killed makes it more likely that you'll be killed. Bit of a quandary. Not a quandary at all, but utterly joyful. The Killer Queens. This is... Putting the sass back into Assassins is their tagline. It's relentlessly camp. It's joyously camp. It's beautifully written. The art's great. The colouring is extraordinary. It's just a joy of a book. Absolutely a joy of a book. I ragged on it a little bit when it started because I thought, yeah, cool, brilliant. Lots of gay characters in it. Amazing representation matters, but perhaps they were going on about it a little bit too much. I now understand what they were doing. I was wrong. They were right. I should have trusted the creators in the first place. Lesson learned. Speaking of trusting the creators, I know nothing about this book, but I know it's going to be brilliant. And the reason I know it's going to be brilliant is because it's by Brian Michael Bendis, who I think is incapable of making a bad comic book. I have been following Bendis' career for more than 20 years, way back in the Jinx days. And it's just, he's never put a foot wrong, at least not in my opinion. Great art also by Stephen Byrne, doesn't hurt. Speaking of great story and great art, Peter Milligan, Inaki Miranda, Ivada de la Cruz, and Sal Capranio, and yes, I am reading that off the front of the cover. Out of Body, which is issue 5. This has been a trip. Absolutely, literally, almost. This is a book about what we are. Are we mind? Are we body? What if the mind and the body become disconnected? How important is the body to the mind? Is it just a vehicle that we're steering around with our brains? Or is it fundamental to our existence? I don't know. I've never even asked those questions before. Peter Milligan asked those questions quite a lot. I think he's got some answers. It's pretty good. Also pretty good, Radiant Black. One of my preferred superhero stories of recent years. Utterly cracking. Just look at the opening page. The colour, the composition, the dynamism, the movement. Come on. We are living in a golden age. There is so much good stuff. Speaking of which, Robin, the Tournament of Death is upon us at last. And Robin may have bitten off more than he can chew. I think he's probably going to be all right as he takes on Hawk. Largely because they haven't cancelled the book and his name's on the cover. But he's used to winning. And he's not necessarily on top. Connor Hawke, after all, is Connor Hawke. Speaking of amazing things, I'm sorry, Terry Moore artwork. What more do you need? Nobody puts more colour into black and white artwork. Impossibly clean lines. Beautifully expressive characters. Serial, ladies and gentlemen. The first trade's out. If you haven't been following this, you should get on it. I'm less enthusiastic for reasons largely of nostalgia and personal experience about the next issue 1. I'm sure it's brilliant. I haven't read it yet. I would never condemn a book I haven't read. But at the same time, the words Star Wars and Life Day do not fill me with hope. I've seen the Star Wars Holiday Special. I've seen Carrie Fisher, who may, bless her, have imbibed a couple of substances, let's say that, singing a song about Life Day. I've seen what Wookiees do on Life Day, and it's weird. I'm hoping very much that this will be better. Yeah, I mean, you don't bet against Star Wars, you don't bet against Marvel Comics. They have a tendency to pull it out the bag and do it right in the end. But it's Life Day. It's Life Day. I remember B. Arthur running the cantina in Mos Eisley, and it's not a happy memory. If I can find it on YouTube, I will put up the best video I can find that has the Star Wars Holiday Special in it. Mostly because I've had to sit through the damn thing, and misery loves company. If Star Wars Life Day is any good, it will be a pick of the week, and I will apologise to Lucasfilm. That Sexist Blood requires no apology. It's amazing. Properly hard-boiled, small-town crime with a bit of a twist. Really, really good. Like Time Before Time, essentially a heist story, but one with temporal consequences. Then we've got Usagi Yojimbo, the biggest twist of all. He's a cartoon rabbit, but he's also a ronin, a samurai with no master, who prowls feudal Japan, righting wrongs and doing good. Don't let the big floppy ears put you off. This is no kids' comic. Usagi Yojimbo is as hard-boiled and hardcore as anything ever committed to celluloid by Akira Kurosawa. Okay, this is serious samurai storytelling. Check that. I used to be an English teacher. Check out that alliteration. Coming to an end, we have Vinyl, the serial killer who was trying to do some good. How's it going to end? Is anyone going to survive? From the looks of the cover, I don't think so, but covers can be misleading. Great work. Really enjoyed it. I imagine the trade will be out shortly, and that is in fact the end of the rack. It shouldn't be, because we should have some Wonder Woman on here, but I don't appear to. Wonder Woman Black and Gold is also out this week. Don't appear to have it to hand to wave it in front of the camera. I do have to hand to wave in front of the camera Volume 2 of what Diamond euphemistically call on my invoice SFSX, but which I know by its proper name of Safe Sex. Volume 1 was cracking. It's a story about... Yes, it's a story about sex, but it's a story about standing up to authoritarianism, about insisting on freedom, about refusing to buckle. The sex is... I'm not going to say it's irrelevant, it's crucial to the story, but it's not the point of the story. It's not really what the story's about. Yes, it is sexually explicit. I would not recommend it for children. But it's a cracking story, which I heartily recommend to adults. And also, it's got a Tula Lotte cover on it. Look at that. Just look. I would buy anything that had a Tula Lotte cover on it. Literally anything. Soap powder, whatever. Get Tula Lotte to do the cover. I'm there. Also on the rack this week, we have Giga, possibly Geiger Volume 1. This is a great post-apocalyptic story. There's a man in the wasteland who glows and may or may not be a hero. Speaking of things that may or may not be heroes, Miskatonic gets an annoyingly oversized Aftershock one-shot. This is in the world of Miskatonic. I don't know quite how much of the original series you need to have read in order for this one-shot to work. I suspect it stands on its own. If you like H.P. Lovecraftian stuff, you're going to like that. And finally, look at this. Look at this. The other history of the DC Universe. The DC Universe from a different point of view. Beautiful hardcover. The 5-issue softcover series was an absolute delight. I wish I could show you that. I can't because it's shrink wrapped. It's a beautiful book, putting a different perspective on the DC Universe that you know. And I can't recommend it highly enough. I just can't. That's it for the rack and indeed the shelves this week. We'll be back in the library next week with another What's on the Rack, unless I find a better location. You never know. Until then, we hope to see you during the week at the shop. We're open Wednesday, Thursday, and Friday, 1 p.m. to 5:30 p.m. and Saturday, 11 a.m. till 5:30 p.m. Come on down, get some comics, get some graphic novels. Talk to me about Thought Bubble. I'd love to talk about Thought Bubble to just about anybody. Geeks at the Gates drops on Thursday, where I will be talking to somebody about Thought Bubble. And that's about it. We'll see you next week. Or, better still, in the shop. But if we don't, we'll be here same time next week, same device. Until we see you again, be kind to yourself, be kind to everybody else. Above all else, stay safe, stay geeky, and love comics. We will see you soon.